What's up, guys? We are live. So today we're going to be doing something quite different. We've never done this before. It's a bold experiment that we're doing. So what we're doing today is we're basically allowing people to call in and have their questions answered. So we posted the number to the screen, and we also posted the chat. So basically the way we're going to do this is we're going to try to go in nice order. So you call in, ask whatever question you want. If there's something, you got to keep in mind this is live. So if you want to stay anonymous, we won't say your name, but you can't give out a detail, right? Because we can't go back then and censor it. So yeah, just say us, ask us all your questions, no matter what it is. Nothing is off limits. We'll probably ask you, a few more questions to get more information, and then we'll, answer your question live. So basically, this is like free 2-on-1 coaching because you get two for the price of one. You get a white guy and an Indian guy. And if you guys are not familiar with this beautiful man, this is IndianPE. He is finally showing his face.
That is my phone number, just so you know. It's my Google Voice number. So don't
call. This is only during these hour and a half that we're doing this. Yeah, do not call this number after that hour and a half.
We're having our first call. I'm gonna pick up. What's up? This is IndianPE. Go on. You don't have to tell us your name, but go ahead and ask your question. Hello, speak up, man.
What's up?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Speak up.
All right. I had a question about, let's say we're doing some Tinder game, and I'm actually going to finally move out of my parents' house at the end of December, but I don't want to wait to start bagging some women. So how would you guys go about it if I start making some matches right now?
Okay.
Cool. So I'll take this one. So we actually have a video on this. It came out about 2 years ago. It was called "How to Get Laid Even If You Still Live at Home." So I walk you through exactly what to do. So there was a period in my life where I wasn't living with my mom, but I was staying with her for like a month. But I still wanted to get laid, so I kind of made kind of put together what I did during that month into a guide. But basically, the quick, short and dirty summary is that, generally speaking, you want to sexualize. You want to set up as a fuck date, right? So you want it to be clear that if you guys are meeting up, it's about sex. Once you do that, then you go down the line of logistics. So you can ask, is your place an option? She might say no. Then you say, cool, I have an idea that. She'll say, what? We can meet at a hotel nearby, right? Or something like that. I know a place where we can meet. You can also, do it in your car, right? But the key is to first frame it as a fuck date, because if it's like framed as a casual get to know you, get together, and then you're like, is your place an option? Then she's gonna be like, what the fuck? Or, oh, I know a place we can meet. It's this hotel. She's like, what the fuck is up with this guy? So it's a two-part thing. One, frame it as a fuck date. Two, then, just go through the line of logistics. I kind of break this down in more detail in the video.
Hey, man, I hope I answered your question. Is that good?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, bro. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, man.
All right, that was our first call. Just to repeat, Alex, make sure it's explicitly a fuck date.
Yep.
I'm already getting a phone call again. What's up, man? Welcome to PWF Live Show. Go ahead, ask a question.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, man? Speak up.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question. How do you analyze your own text game, and how to overcome overgaminess?
Okay. So you wanna try to analyze your own text game and how to overcome overgaminess, right?
Exactly.
So okay. Let me take this one, Alex.
Okay.
So the way you're not overgaming over text is to have a goal first. Like the goal, there should be a goal to an interaction, right? So let's say you're trying to get from point A to point B, and what's the point A? You guys match, okay, and you send it an opener. What's the point B? You try to set up logistics. You try to meet up, and you have to try to make sure that you do this with the most minimal effort as possible. Of course, there's going to be some stoppages, like, okay, maybe she doesn't see enough value in you, That's when you actually, okay, well, I have to DHP a little bit. How can you DHP a little bit? You can do either, okay, I'm at the gym working out or cooking for myself, or something like sipping wine on my balcony, etc. Okay, so you have to try to break down your point A to point B, the distance between that, into smaller segments. That way, you will be able to, like, if you're going away from that goal, then it will feel like you're being over gaming, especially when girls will actually be like, this is a little weird. Why would you say something like that? Or it's coming across a little cringy. That's when you know your text game is a little over gaming. It's like you are trying to do too much, which can be done with very less minimal effort.
There's also a very simple way. You can post in the PWF forums. I have no problems telling people they're over gaming. So that's probably the most common comment I have to make is way too over gaming, bro. So I literally should make that, you know, something I can just copy and paste and press a button. But yeah, so you can post in the PWF forums, and you know, we'll tell you if you're being over gaming or not as well.
Does that make sense, man? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right.
All right. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, guys. If you're all too nervous, I'd understand. If you guys are into that sort of thing.
If you have any concerns, let us know.
I genuinely didn't take you for the flaky type. Come on, trouble.
I like whenever someone calls, someone else is calling up, so they can.
You know what we need to do? I had an idea as we started. We should have like a secretary or something, someone that like, so there's like a line of calls. So like if you call in while we're answering a question, you're like next in line, like the way radio stations do it. That's what we're gonna do that for next time. This way it's like really smooth.
PWF secretary.
Well, I mean, we have people. We can get Joe to do it, or you know.
Alrighty, another call. What's up, man?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, I have 3 questions.
Go on. Go on.
Okay. First is if you're texting a girl in the beginning of the interaction and you use the "Can I be honest?" text, and then she doesn't reply, would you say, are you always this talkative, or did you have a better reply for that?
Sometimes when girls don't reply for like 2 to 3 days, I just go, "Can I be dishonest?" and then put that asterisk.
Yeah, I would personally probably just like follow up on that. I would say, or do you prefer that I'm dishonest, or I guess not, or something like that. One of those two in that situation. But usually most of the time chicks respond to that because they're curious, what do you need to be honest about?
Okay, cool. And then the second question is on Instagram DMs. Like, how is the efficiency of that compared to like Tinder or Hinge or Bumble?
It's significantly less efficient. You have to run higher volume because you didn't match with a girl. She might be taken. She might be a lesbian. You might not be her type. You know, so many factors that don't really exist when a girl matches with you on Tinder. So with Instagram cold DMs, you have to run much higher volume. Plus,
at the same time, you need to have a very solid Instagram profile. Like, it shouldn't be like on Tinder, you literally put just 6 pictures and a bio. Right? But with Instagram, you have to try to put all of your pictures in a certain way where you're actually like describing your lifestyle through those pictures. So it's like, it's almost like you have to have like a pipeline of 100 pictures which show you.
You need like at least 30 pics for Instagram. I think.
Yeah.
There's some stories in there.
Stories in there. Yeah.
A picture of Rhaegar here and there.
And also you have to be public. So, you know, when you hit up a girl, she will at least like look at your DM and she'll be like, oh, let me see this guy. And then she will see a story. She will see that you're public. She will go through your pictures. Does it make sense, bro?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks. And then my third question is also a texting reply question. If you're soft closing a girl and then you ask her schedule and then she's like, oh, I'm busy, and then later try to reinitiate the conversation with I finished the killer workout, I'm looking nice and fit, for a romantic date, and then she just replied like, haha. So she's not really being that engaged in it. How would you? What would be the next steps for a girl like this?
A call out of some kind, a playful call out. So I would say love the enthusiasm. Also, generally, if I try to make plans with a girl and she's not being receptive, she says I'm busy, I probably would not do the looking nice and fit for our date, right? Because it's kind of like, I like to, when there's an issue, I like to kind of address it and not butt her way. So if she's like, if she responds to you, oh, I'm busy, I would say something like, too busy for our love, ? Or too busy for a casual drink. And then if she's like, yeah, you know, blah, blah, then I would probably say, look, I get it, I'm busy too, but I'm sure we can both find a few hours if we want to. That would be kind of my approach in that situation.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. Like, it could just be like she doesn't see enough value yet. So if you even like do a call out, she's going to at least tell you, I don't know anything about you yet, things like that. So maybe she needs a little bit more vibing to go on. Like you could ask her about herself, and she can ask back to you, and you guys can ask each other about like, what do you guys do for fun, shit like that, and then again do another new attempt at the soft close.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Awesome, bro.
Sure, man. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, guys, like if you're calling in and if someone is already on the line, obviously I won't be able to take it. So once we hang up, make your second attempt.
I wonder if we're gonna get like any like hardcore, like just like someone super weird, like we pick up the phone, it's like some dude jerking off or something. PWF.
Or maybe a hot chick.
Oh shit! Like, oh daddy, I've been figuring myself to your text game videos. I love it the way you break down and you overcome shit tests. Like,
all right, call coming in. Hey guy, hey man, what's up?
Hey, is this IndianPE and Playing with Fire?
Yes, IndianPE.
Yes, sir. I go by Alex usually most of the time.
Got 3 questions for you guys.
Go ahead.
My first question is, this is more of a situation than a question. I've been gaming for about a year, and I've probably had at least, I'd say 150 to 175 approaches. And I'd say in about 30% of those approaches, I find myself being super conscious of like my body language and what I'm saying, and like, am I showing value? Am I not showing value? Am I saying the right thing? Am I not saying the right thing? Like, is this a good time to pull? Is it not a good time to pull? So how do you guys deal with that in terms of being conscious and being present at the same time, recognizing where you are in the interaction?
So you say, I mean, like we probably need a little bit more context, because you say that you have been in game for like a year now. Have you ever had success with women before this? Like, were you in a relationship? Did you have any fuck buddies, etc. before this?
Also, one more question: what kind of results do you get from cold approach? Like, roughly how many numbers do you get? How many dates do you get? How many lays do you get?
So to be honest, I mean, I have those, and I don't like. I haven't how do I put this? Like, I'm always not going to the kill. For me, it's more about developing those skill sets so that when I do want to find a girlfriend or something, I can go ahead and do that. So the best I've got, like, I've pulled before to my house. I'd say like 3 or 4 times, four times. But most of the time I just go on dates and things like this. I'm just really trying to work on my social skills and that type of thing.
Okay.
And you've just done like what, 150 approaches in a year?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very low number. Just to let you know.
An approach every other day.
Okay.
Yeah, that as well.
Like an approach every other day. So I mean, I don't know if you watched my video when I first started off game. I was still a virgin, and for like 8 months, I went out gaming and approaching women for 8 hours a day. Okay, I was doing night game for 8 hours a day. In that, I would say at least like 20 to 30 approaches at night. Okay, so like you can already put what, like 20 times 280 is like 4,000 or 5,000 approaches. Okay, So in 4,000 and 5,000 approaches, even then I did not get results. But obviously that was because like I was not breaking down my nights. So if you have a very low sample size like this, like 150 to 200, basically you might even not be doing a lot of things wrong. It's just that you don't have enough sample size to go through like what must be working, what might not be working. So at this moment of time, if that's the only amount of approaches you can do, all you have to focus on is like having a structure. Doesn't matter how she perceives you, doesn't matter how your body language comes across. Just having a structure first will help you, because like once you have that structure, and if she's not like not having to like not really seeing value in you, etc., then you can break down those. So if you don't have a structure and if you just go up, talk to her, you won't really be able to calibrate or etc. You won't be able to learn as quickly as anyone.
Let me weigh in on this.
I guess my problem is in the sense that I probably haven't developed that structure. Now, I've seen the interviews that Playing with Fire did with Austin and IndianPE and the guy from South Africa, and I feel everybody has gone through like a similar journey of doing a lot of sets and being somebody that didn't get a lot of success with women, and finally they were able to. And it always seems like everybody has an aha moment, or they're finally able to find that structure. So what is that structure, and how do you guys arrive at that aha moment where things start to fall in place?
All right, let me weigh in here because there's a few things I want to add. So first off, I'm really not a big fan or proponent of just going out just to practice your social skills. I just find that like you're not going to have the same drive. Like if you're chatting up chicks, it should be because you want to fuck her, you want to date her, you want her in your life. It shouldn't be just to practice. That'll be almost like hanging out with your friends, not because you actually like hanging out with your friends, but because you want to, do social things, right? Like you're not going to really have a good time then. So I think you need to find what actually is like, like what is holding you back from trying to fuck some of these girls, right? Like, are you in like a serious relationship or something like that? Or, you just think that, you're not able to do it or something like that. But like, if you're going out and you're chatting up chicks, the goal.
For me, it's more about my religious beliefs and like, and also that like, I really I'm doing this so that I can, like, when I do want to find someone to be my girlfriend or something serious, that I do have the social skills and those set of experiences in terms of interacting with people, so that I can have choice in that sense.
Yeah, so again, this might not be what you want to hear, but first of all, the religious thing will hold you back hardcore, dude. Hardcore, dude. I've had clients who are religious and that shit, because that gives you all these weird, whatever things around sex and sexuality, and it will manifest itself in a lot of ways. So that's one thing you're going to have to. I'm not saying you can't be religious at all and do pickup, although I would argue that you'd probably be better off not doing religion and whatever. But okay, I'm not gonna get into that tangent. But so that's going to hold you back. But again, just practicing for the sake of practicing is not really going to give you the same kind of practice. It's like playing a sport, but never trying to win the game, right? Like you're not going to get the same practice, dribbling a basketball as you are actually playing a game of basketball and trying to win. Like you might get part of the benefit, but not all the benefit. And also it's going to drain on your soul. It's not going to be as fun for you. Like this would be like me going to the gym and but never actually making any progress, or like never trying to actually lift weights or something like that, or lift heavy weights. Another thing that I want to add on is it sounds like your big issue is that you're actually overthinking a lot, overanalyzing. So you want to save the analysis, generally speaking, for after the interaction, right? You don't want to be like, overanalyzing during the interaction, because then you're just going to get stuck in your head and it's not going to go smoothly. So generally when I chat up chicks, I'm not analyzing my game. Like I'll sometimes do that afterwards. And I do recommend if you're a beginner, intermediate, to do that afterwards, but not during.
Okay. Now, in terms of my previous question, in terms of like the structure and coming to that aha point, how did you guys build that structure, and what is that structure, and how did you guys arrive where you kind of felt comfortable and you know how to troubleshoot? Because I think when it comes to mastering anything, I feel like you've mastered something when you're able to troubleshoot situations, right? So how did you guys arrive at that point?
Okay, so when you're going and approaching a girl, right, the first thing she knows about you is just the way you look, right? So just by the way you look, you're not really, she's not fully sold. She doesn't know anything about you. So even if you go for the number close right then and there, it wouldn't make sense, right? Like she would just be like, okay, cool, you can take my number, but she's never going to reply because she doesn't know anything about you. She doesn't know about any of your belief systems. She doesn't know about your values, etc.
Unless you have this place.
Exactly. How much is the dick size, etc. She doesn't know shit. So you have to focus on first trying to build up your value, right? The values can be what you do for work. Values can be like what are your hobbies? Like it could just be like you're a fucking pilot, or you're actually like a fitness trainer. You're anything which shows that you're some guy like who's on his path to whatever, like greatness. Doesn't have to be like, oh, you're gonna become Leonardo DiCaprio or something. It's just that you have your shit together. Okay, if you don't have your shit together, at least present it to her that way. You're like, oh yeah, I'm just coming back from a session, right? So you make her ask you questions as well. Like you have to learn some sort of conversation skills, which are just to like bait her to asking more about you. You can ask her what she does for work, and she would always ask you what you do for work, right? And then you can always come up with an answer for these. Like, okay, how old are you? You can come up with an answer. Like you don't have to say straight up 23. You can just be like, I could be your daddy or something like that. You know, like you can add in like some such flirty vibes, etc. Like even if those questions can be very, very boring, or questions and answers. So she has to know how your vibe is.
Okay, go ahead.
Huh?
Well, let me just quickly weigh in, because me and IndianPE have a slightly different, somewhat substantially different structure with game, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong, but I don't do it that way. I always assume value. I never try to build value, and I would argue that trying to build value is coming from a place of lower value. Like Leonardo DiCaprio or high value guy doesn't try to build value; he just assumes value. So that's my whole thing. So really, when I do cold approach, here's what I'm focused on, right? When I approach a chick, first off, the basics is just I want her to stop, and I want the conversation, like I want her engaged in the conversation. That's the first thing I focused on, like getting the conversation started. Then all I'm focused on literally is just getting her invested in the interaction, getting her invested in our dynamics. So that can come in many ways, and typically also, you know, like getting her invested in the idea of us hanging out, right? Then from there, it's just smoothly going for the close. I don't even really do insta-dates or something like that. You know, once me and the chick are flirting, we have good eye contact. Also, another thing I focus on, okay, a lot. One more thing is building sexual chemistry, right? So once I do that, I just smoothly go for the meetup. Like, hey, listen, like, we should have a drink sometime. She's like, yeah, that sounds fun. I'm like, cool. Number? Like, cool, let me get your number. I'll text you later. And that works quite well for me. Like, I don't know. So I would argue that I'm not a big fan of like making game more complex than it needs to be. Although there's definitely benefits to you know, subtle DHVs and doing all that. I would argue that that's more of something that intermediate and advanced guys should be. For beginners, I feel like that can almost fuck with their mind too much and like make them worse off.
Analysis paralysis, yeah. I agree.
Guys, before I know there's other people on the call, but one last question. With COVID and everything, the venues in my area have been closed, and the only place that I consistently find the opportunity to go and approach is a gym. I know that has its own complexities. What's your opinion on gym game? And if you were to do it, how would you go about doing it?
Alex will answer.
You want me to take that? Dude, honestly, I'm going to be honest, I've never actually had a legitimate success with gym game. Like, don't get me wrong. I've gotten lots of numbers from gym, but I've actually never had a gym number lead to sex. I'm not saying it can't be done. I haven't actually really done that much of it. Generally, I would say for the gym, first of all, I'll prelude this by saying I feel like at the gym, there's almost like a hierarchy. And the hierarchy is generally based around like how jacked you are. So it depends what kind of a gym you're going to. But if you're going to like a bro gym in like a city like Miami, like you're at a more of an advantage if you look like a guy who really works out than a guy who just started working out. But all that can be overcome. That's the first thing. The second thing is with gym, you don't want to go too direct. And you don't want, what you don't want to do is you don't want to interrupt her while she's in the middle of a set. Girls fucking hate that. So you want to catch her at the right time. That's a big thing. When she's putting away the weights, when she's kind of milling around, like ideally now when she's in the middle of a set also, because then you get like 30 seconds. And then after 30 seconds, she feels like she's, you know, getting in the way for a workout. So you don't want to get in the way for a workout. You have to approach her at the right time. And generally speaking, I'll probably go like something very casual. Like you could say like one thing you could do, you could be like, if you guys are working out close to each other, be like, oh, you're making this so difficult for me. She's like, what? I'm like, trying to focus on my reps here. And you're just out here just fucking looking cute, doing your little donkey squats. Like, what the fuck, girl? Right? And then just, I'm like, I see her all the time. Where are you live around here or something like that? Just get the conversation started. That would work if you guys in proximity. If not, you can just say like, hey, I always see you here. Like, you come here, I notice you come here like at the same time as me. I want to say hi, something like that. So I wouldn't go too direct at the gym. I wouldn't say, hey, you're fucking hot. I want to meet you. Like, that might be too much for the gym.
All right, Alex, IndianPE, appreciate your time, guys.
Nice. Thanks.
Sure, man. Thank you for calling in.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Yo, we had someone say that we should read out people's questions, rephrase people's questions because sometimes they're having hard hearing that. Can you guys write in the comments if you guys want us to rephrase the questions because you guys can't understand us, or you guys are hearing the questions just fine?
I hope it's only that one guy. We can increase his volume. Okay, call coming in. What's up, man? Hey, man, like when you call in, when you guys call in, make sure to
turn off the porn when you call in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Alex. Hey, Nathan.
Hey.
Come on.
Oh,
He said my name. Go on.
The audio's awful. Okay.
Yeah, no, we can hear you good, bro.
I got bored, so I made some catfish accounts on Tinder and some other dating apps, and I noticed like there's some really hot guys out there.
Yeah.
And their profiles look great, and there's nothing I can do. I feel like there's nothing I can do to compete with them. Like, is that the case, or just like one day I'll get there?
So wait, let me understand the question. So you're saying that you feel like there's, I can't say this without laughing, but you feel like there's a lot of hot guys on Tinder and that you're not going to be able to compete with them? Like your competition is too stiff, pun intended?
Yeah, I feel like, the 9s and 10s are going to get with those guys, and I'm left fighting for like the 7s and 6s.
I mean, again, so there's an element of truth to what you're saying. You have a lot of competition. Well, like pretty much every girl, or I used to do this all the time when I would hook up with girls, I would go through their Tinder and like just see what their interactions are like. This is especially when I was writing the product. I really wanted to feel for my competition. And I would always ask this question for a while at least. I would be like, hey, like, why did you meet up with me? Like, this guy's a fucking stud, no homo. Like, look at this guy. He's got abs on his abs. Like, like, what made you meet up with me? And then the girls at the same time be like, yeah, but I don't know, he's boring, or yeah, but he just kept talking. He never went for the meetup. Or yeah, but he might have 5 great pictures where he looks good. Yeah, but he had this horrible picture and makes me think he's a jerk. So a lot of these hot guys are making mistakes either with some of their pictures, with their bio, or the text game. In fact, probably 98, 99% of them are. So just by knowing game and being part of PWF and having the right information, you actually have a huge advantage. And secondly, it's going to come down to making yourself, like, let's say you are a 7 in real life. What most guys do who are 7s, they look like a 6 in their pictures. You want to go in the opposite direction. If you're a 7, you're never going to make yourself look like a 10 without catfishing girls, but you should make yourself look like an 8 in your pictures. So you should always be a point of both. Like, if I had to rate myself, like, I would say I'm a 7, but if you look at my pictures, I probably look like an 8.5.
Agreed.
I mean, I know in IndianPE's eyes, I'll always be a perfect 10, but I think, like, if we're being real, probably I'm somewhere along the line of a 7, especially in a city like Miami. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Just maximize your odds, basically. Like most guys, right? Most guys think even asking help for women is such a loser mentality. They have this huge ego that, oh, I'm good with women. Meanwhile, they've only been with like five women entire in their life. So most guys don't even want to follow these like dating advice videos. So like just by you understanding, okay, well, there is at least a community out there who's trying to like who can teach you get better at this stuff. Of course, from that community again, you weed out all the bad advice, and then you
like 99% of the advice, yeah. So you stumble upon the gold mine, which is PWF.
Stumble upon people like us who will give you legit advice. And hence, like, you're maximizing your odds. You're trying to get your bio better. You follow our videos to get the text game better, and so on. Like, next thing you know, you're banging 50 girls a year.
Yeah, like I live in Miami, and I'll walking around Miami. Like my roommate has literally the same issue you do. He will tell me, it's like, dude, like I just feel like in a city like Miami, I'm not good looking enough, for these girls. And we'll walk around with him. I'll be like, dude, fat Cuban guy, perfect 9. Perfect 10. Like you see this time and time again, especially in Miami. I'm like, dude, like this guy's way uglier than you. This guy's way uglier than you. This guy's way, way uglier than you. This guy's in like a fucking wheelchair. still with like a smoking chick. And what the common theme amongst those guys is they have a lot of swagger, they have a lot of game, right? Like those guys are not fucking beta chills. Not like they're able to really fucking smooth talk chicks. So again, looks are important, game is important. You want to combine the two.
Okay, well, my second question is, Alex, do you have whether your room in your apartment?
Wait, what? Is there a room in my apartment?
But he fit one more roommate.
Do I need one more room? Well, my roommate currently, interesting question. My roommate is leaving in November, then IndianPE comes in. And maybe after he leaves, it's going to be a rigorous screening process. Make a post in the forums or something like that. We can talk more about that offline.
All right, cool. Hey, my last question is a little bit shorter. Have you ever thought about the girls you're losing because you sexualize your profiles? Like, what if I just want someone who's conservative to wife up?
What was the last sentence?
So basically, okay. Also, we'll repeat this question anyway. So he's asking how can he not over sexualize through his profile and bio. In order to
Okay, got it. You want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the way you're going about it, right? Like, okay, you can think about it in terms of like, okay, maybe if I soften my bio, I'm probably going to be able to match with chicks who are more conservative, right? But also at the same time, like these conservative girls do actually appreciate someone who's direct. Okay, so at the same time, like you can balance it out. You can have a direct approach. And when the girl gives any concern, then you can take a step back. But to initially like only try to screen out girls who are conservative, etc., that's a bad approach because you're playing it safe to begin with.
You're gonna waste a lot of time.
Huh?
You're gonna waste a lot of time. This is the way I kind of look at it, right? Let's take a look at it as a spectrum. On one end of the spectrum, you have screening really, really hard and saying something like just looking to fuck, right, on your profile, like a really hard screen, right? On that end of the spectrum, you have no screening at all. So if you go to one extreme where it's screening really hard, then you are going to miss out on a lot of girls who are kind of DTF, but you just went too hard. But if you're not screening at all, you're going to go on a lot of dates with chicks that are a waste of time. So that date that you went on, that's the time you could have spent working, hanging out with your friend, or hanging out with a girl who is, more into like actually hooking up, right? So to me, like time is value, and I don't want to waste my time with chicks who have a totally different gender than me. So, the only rational, course is take some middle ground where you're not screening too hard, right? You're not missing out, but you're screening a bit. And of course, the more matches you're getting, the more you can afford to screen. Another thing I'll tell you is that back in the good old days before Tinder became super duper SJW, just when they were kind of SJW, I used to run two profiles. One of them was kind of the profile, I posted about, and one of them was like a super sexual BDSM profile. And this is a very interesting observation. So obviously with the regular profile, I got a lot more matches than the BDSM profile. You would expect that. However, when I did get a match, my meetup rate was significantly higher with the BDSM profile. Like I would say like I was getting maybe 10 to 20 matches a day on the regular profile, 2 to 3 matches a day on the BDSM profile. But overall, I was getting the same amount of meetups and lays like amongst each profile because the chicks who would match with a more sexual profile were just much more keen to meet up. So, by screening harder, you are going to increase your meetup rate. Like chicks who, when you screen harder, those chicks are more interested in meeting up rather than just bullshitting online and being like pen pals.
You also have to realize like some women who actually like most women want the guy to take the lead. So the way you go about it itself dictates the whole interaction, the whole date, or however long it's going to take to fuck the girl. So if you're actually beating around the bush, then she will lose so much attraction for you, and then she's going to keep having that confirmation bias. Oh my God, this guy is beating around the bush. The date is going to be a waste of my time. I'm not even gonna reply to this guy. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bro.
Sure.
Righty.
Alrighty. Dude, we're getting some funky comments in the comments, like funky comments. Let's take this one.
Take this one. Hey man, how's it going?
Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good.
We're actually two together. There's my name is JP, and it's my friend Primal. I guess we're out of sync from the live stream, but my question is, because I noticed that different, like, girls want different things depending on the girl. How do you identify the blueprint of the girl and what she wants, what she's looking for? Oh, wait.
Okay, okay, so I actually wrote an article about this. It should be part of our website. Go to playingfire.com and you'll see it in the guides. So there's you can basically categorize girls in like 4 archetypes. One could be someone who's very down to be sexual, like she's very sexually open-minded, and like will appreciate a guy who's straight to the point. And one more thing is, like, she's a little bit conservative, but she's very curious about sex. She's sexually open-minded, but she's not had a lot of experience. So if you have a lot of experience, then she's going to be very, very receptive towards it. And there's another thing where she's focusing on, like, she wants to build some chemistry before anything physical. Okay, so it doesn't matter how your sexual experience is, but focusing on chemistry is how you will get this chick. Okay, so basically the approach changes regarding. First, you look at her pictures. Okay, when you look at her pictures, you have to try to figure out, okay, which category she's going to fit in. Okay, most DTF girls, they're going to be showing a lot of skin. Okay, they're going to be showing a lot of skin. They're going to have angles like putting up the phone camera and like looking up, sort of like that they're submissive, things like that. So you, based on that profile, you first guess what she is. Okay, and if you guess wrong, then you can put them in the other 2 categories. Right?
What's going on with the feedback? There's like, I'm hearing this squeaking sound. Maybe we should have. Hey man, could you mute your mic, because we're getting a lot of playback.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, can you mute it on your end? No, not you, IndianPE. The guy, whoever's calling in. All right. Anyway. Oh, God, this sounds hard. Let's answer this question really quick. Basically, the better you get a game, the easier it becomes. Like, as you get more and more experience, it becomes easier and easier. But when you're kind of getting started out, generally, I would break it down like this: explicitly DTF, implicitly DTF, relationship-oriented, and time waster, right? I have a video on this 4 types of girl on Tinder. And you're going to be able to pick up on that just basically on her style, on her pictures. But it's more important to look at the way she's texting you rather than her pictures, because pics can be deceiving. Like, some girls, try to show off in their pics, but actually all talk. And some chicks, they look like, they're kind of shy, but actually like super duper DTF. So go more off based on what she's telling you rather than her pics. But we have a video on this. We have an article on this that really, really breaks this down.
Yeah, I had to drop this call off because we were getting that feedback.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah. All right, call in, guys. And sorry, JP, we dropped you because we basically couldn't.
We love you anyway, Jamie.
We love you anyway.
Jamie Lannister.
Call in, guys. Call in.
We saw some really good questions in the comments, but we'll take a crack at those later. Let's do the call-in stuff first. Otherwise, we're going to get too sidetracked.
What's going on?
Oh, while we have time, why don't we announce some article you just wrote?
Yes, so we're going to publish an article, 6 most successful pictures on Tinder, or the picture styles, and I break down what is working in those. So stay tuned, guys.
And one of those pictures is one of my picks. So,
so there you go.
I think that's the key. That's the big takeaway that we want to focus on, is that
hello?
One of those pictures is mine.
All right, call is here.
Oh, hi. Hi. Oh.
What's up, man?
Someone there?
Yeah.
What's up, bro? Yeah, we're here.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
So yeah, I have 2 questions. One, but I think you already answered it before. Should I swipe right and match with girls I don't find attractive? I mean, I'll still get practice, right?
No.
No?
Waste of time.
Waste of time.
Okay, because they don't think like girls that are more attractive. Or okay, sounds good. This is also random. It's not about dating, but
Go on.
we need cash. I know it's really random.
It's okay.
Yeah, go on, man. We couldn't hear you for the first time.
Now you got me curious. You baited me.
Yeah, like it's just like I'm like I noticed that like money helps us solve lots of problems, and so I was wondering like how would you guys recommend like someone who doesn't have a degree and who's just working like a job that doesn't pay much, like how would they go about like just making more income?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question, Matt. So big thing is take an honest self-analysis and see what marketable skills that you have. What skills do you have that people want? For example, if you're good at SEO, that's a skill that PWF would want. If you're good at website design, that's a skill that a lot of people would want. That's a skill I would have needed a year ago when I was designing my website. If you're good at sales, that's a skill that pretty much every company needs, right? Sales is always a solid bet. So what skills do you have? And like fucking like, I don't know, like jerking off with your left hand, that wouldn't count. But like something that companies want, like look for what skills you have. And then once you figure that out, try to expand on those skills and then, market yourself. Like for example, I'll take myself as an example, right? When I was 21, 22, I moved to Los Angeles. I had $5,000 saved up because I sold my car. I had no money, and I had a degree, but I never used my degree. So anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn sales because sales is a skill that I think most people want. And the solar industry at that time was really taking off. So I think I'm gonna try in the solar industry. So I got a job that was purely commission, right? I was making and for like the first half year, I didn't even make a sale, or like the first few months, I was just trying to learn sales. Eventually I learned sales, and I was able to get a job at a better company that paid paid a salary. And then at that company, I was able to get more mentoring and improve my sales. And then, I was able to become a sales trainer because my sales skills were really good. And then once I became a sales trainer, like I already had a lot of marketable skills, right? Like, so at that point, like I had a skill that, a lot of companies wanted, right? And it's also a skill I could take over to whatever else I do. But then also I decided to move to, PWF. Another skill I had was I was good at getting laid on Tinder, and I was good at explaining things, those two things. So that meant that I had a skill, which is, able to coach people in their online dating. Now, you'll never see me coaching people about like fucking marketing because that's not something I'm an expert in. Like we have a marketing guy at PWF, but I had a skill and I was good explaining it. So then I was able to create a business around it. So just look at what marketable skills that you have that the marketplace wants.
Okay. Yeah, I just have to choose a skill.
Yeah, you have to choose a skill. You have to choose a skill to pick up. Okay, you've got to be something like you. Everyone has some kind of like a small skill. You could just be a quick learner. If anything, like you could just be a quick learner, and you can find out like what people are lacking. And it's so easy to make money nowadays. It's like people don't know that it's so easy. You can just sign up on a fucking $10 Udemy course, and you'll be able to pick up a skill very quickly.
Two for you. One is sales. Two is app design. If you can design apps and you can sell, those are skills that are very highly in demand right now.
Yeah.
Two ideas right there.
Yeah. So sales, app design.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing ideas. There's a lot more out there. These are just two.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. I just have to. I'll have to do my research. Or if you guys want, you can drop more skills. Maybe I'll.
Yeah, I mean, like those. Start up there, bro. Start up there.
Make a post in the forums and have people, people can comment on that. Make a post and people will comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries.
Bye, bro. Talk later.
See you.
All right. Next call. Hey, man. How's it going?
Yo.
It's not good. So basically, I had a question about like consistency because I feel like I'll be going on like a good streak on Tinder, and then I don't know. I guess I get lazy, and then I just get into like this pattern where I fall off. And just like, well, to sum it up, how do I be more consistent with like women and like in general. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say there's two factors on this. Okay. So you could.
Oh yeah. Also, I feel like my ego is like trying to get in the way too, like false beliefs and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I mean, what you're describing is totally normal, man. Like everyone has hot streaks and cold streaks. The difference is that when I have a cold streak, my cold streak is still better than most guys' hot streak. But for sure, dude, I have on and off cycles with with chicks, with business, with fitness, with everything. I mean, that's normal. The key is just good discipline, right? If you have good discipline, you establish good habits, you'll still force yourself to do that thing. So even like there's a lot of days where I don't want to go to the gym, but because I have the discipline of going to the gym like 6 days a week, I'm gonna do it anyway, right? So there's some weeks where I'm a lot more motivated to work out than others, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I just have the discipline, right? Same thing with work, right? Like some days I really don't want to like answer people's questions. Like I'm just like, oh my god, another guy who is overgaming me or needs his picture evaluated, right? It's repetitive at times, but I'm like, you know what? Like I have the discipline, I'm gonna do it anyway. So discipline is the answer here.
Yeah. Also, like when you talk about like hot streaks and cold streaks, right? You always have to you have to try to focus on getting a rotation. Okay, so rotation is the best consistent way to keep getting laid because you have these women in the fucking retainer. Like you don't want to always go and keep trying to get more and more women. Of course, like if you're not able to keep these women around, then obviously you'll go and keep getting other women, right? So the best way is to like consistently maintain attraction with these women. So let's say you hook up with a girl, okay, and you're like if she sees you as like a guy who's lazy, who doesn't have his shit together, etc. She's not going to be want to like keep coming around. It's even if like the sex is amazing or whatnot. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like it's yes, of course it's about not being lazy, but at the same time. Be on top of your shit where you can keep women coming around back for you. Focus on your sex game. Focus on being good in other areas of your life.
Yeah, that's good advice. Appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Good. Cute.
I love it.
All right.
How are the comments? You said that.
Yeah, most of them are decent. We had one guy who was talking about it was something really dumb. He was saying that actually I don't want to give trolls attention. So this is a bad habit I have of sometimes of feeding the trolls. No more feeding the trolls.
No more feeding the trolls.
Although I do feel like in PWF we're very lucky that like our audience is generally I think cooler than most like channels.
Agreed. I call coming in. What's up, guy?
Hey, how's it going? I called before for my friend because we're together.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question. How important it is to have a close-up picture? Because I have, I posted my profile on the forum actually, but I want to know because sometimes I feel like the girls cannot see my face properly enough. So should I put a close-up picture in the first image on Tinder?
It doesn't have to be first, but within the second at least. There should be at least one picture where a girl can very clearly see your face, right? Like I've heard numerous girls say how that's annoying. It's like exactly when you're swiping on a girl, you think she's hot, but she doesn't have a clear body pic. How fucking annoying is that shit? I'm at a point where if I don't see a clear body pic, I will left swipe her. Like I just don't have the time to fucking ask for her Instagram. So it's kind of almost the same thing. So, one pic should clearly show your face.
Yeah. So also think in terms of you know how women love looking into man's eyes. So if they can if they can look at your eyes through the picture, they already feel comfortable. Oh my God, he has very pretty eyes. You can even touch up your eyes a little bit. In person, obviously they'll be different. So you can touch up your eyes a little bit. The women will be like, oh, wow, I like this guy's eyes. I'm gonna talk to him. Right.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Okay, well, I guess that answers my question. Thank you.
All right,
sure, man. Thank you for calling in.
Thanks, Mulligan.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
I like it. Hello, welcome to customer care, customer support.
Hello, welcome to Apple.
All right. Hey, man. How's it going?
Hey. What up?
What's up, man?
I'd like to ask a question.
Go for it, bro.
All right. So where I'm being stopped is I get a number, have a good interaction, but I'm finding it trouble going from text game to day 2, or like a meetup again.
So let's take a step back. So you're saying you're having an easy time getting the first date, but after the first date, you're having a hard time getting the second date, if I'm understanding correctly?
It's not a date. I like meet her on the street randomly, like getting city bikes, for example. Or at a coffee shop, I don't know, like, you know.
So we're talking about cold approach right now. We're not talking about online, right?
Is it cold approach, bro?
And online, I've been doing more like in person. Like cold approach is a little easier for me.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand this. So you're saying you're getting the initial, like, say you meet a girl online. Let's focus on online for a second. You meet a chick, you match with a chick online. You're saying you're having a good conversation. You go on a date with her, and then you can't get the second date, or you're saying you're not getting the initial date to begin with.
Maybe my question is a little too specific to me.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to understand the question better.
Mostly, it's I'm still working on my profile for it, and so I've been asking my friends, like women friends and people that so that's been working slowly, but I've been taking and I think the texting part has been very good in the development of that area.
Okay, you have to be more specific, dude. I mean,
sorry about that. I'm just having trouble texting. Like, I'm not sure what to say sometimes.
Okay, I mean, have you watched our videos? Like, have you gone through our website, our guides? We have a ton of free advice out there. Like, it's crazy how much free advice we give away.
I'm trying to understand this question better. What part of texting are you struggling with the most? Like all of it, or
I think he's saying that he's struggling to I guess like get the girls on the date. He's struggling. Sometimes he's not sure about what to say to the girl over text. Things like that.
Is that correct?
That's what he said. Is that right, bro?
That's correct. Yeah.
You seem very hesitant, bro. You're like, yes, that is correct. That is like the least confident correct I've ever heard.
Through the Facebook group.
Are you in the main free Facebook group?
No, it's the inner circle thing.
The Mastermind?
Yeah, that one.
Well, if you're in the Mastermind, we should definitely fix this issue. Let's do this, man. Why don't you? Because I feel like we're not really getting to anywhere. Why don't you make a post in the Mastermind, right? And make sure you tag both me and IndianPE in it, and basically throw in some screenshots of interactions that you've had that aren't going well, and then we can analyze and really see what's going on. Because it's kind of hard when someone says like, "Oh, my texting isn't bad." Like this, that's like it's a topic I could talk about for 2 hours, right? We have to figure out what part of texting.
Right. Yeah, I had to plan ahead. I was like, where am I being stopped? I thought. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Man. Just make a post and we'll go from there.
I bet.
All right.
Thank you. Peace.
Bye-bye.
So guys, like before calling up, make sure you have the question in your mind.
The question kept changing as we kept asking. Like it was like the question was totally different by the end than it was initially.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Oh man, can't believe you answered. Whoa, okay. How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
So y'all was talking about discipline not too long ago. So how does one get discipline?
All right, so very, very simply a complex question. Getting a discipline is it could be as simple as setting up daily goals. Okay, You make up a fucking to-do list. You try to accomplish 5 things for the day. Okay, to start off, 5 things for the day. You could just literally like even have something like by 11 o'clock, I'm going to eat my breakfast. Okay, it could be as simple as that. Okay, so when you try to have a to-do list every day, and if you don't accomplish any single thing, you try to figure out why the hell did you not accomplish that. Okay, if you try to accomplish that, you try to figure out why you did not, and then you try to fix it at least for the next day, right? So slowly but surely, that's how you're going to build discipline. I'm actually a very less disciplined guy, but like it's,
as I've noticed. Yeah, I'll explain it in a simpler way. So discipline is basically just habits, right? So for example, if one thing you want to be more disciplined with is going to the gym, if you establish a habit for 30 days, usually they say it takes between 25 and 40 days to establish a habit, or 25 and 60 days, depends on which study you look at. But if you for 2 months you go to the gym, every day or every other day, then you've gone to the point where you've established a discipline, right? And that point, once you have a habit, it's much easier to keep going with a habit rather than create a new habit. So basically, you have to go through the pain period of establishing a habit and then just keeping up with it. But that part is easier than going to a new habit. And also just like not being too easy on yourself. A lot of people fucking slack off, and like they're just like, like I did this. I have a funny story I could sell, but yeah. So anyway, so just be consistent and with your habits. That's really as simple as that.
All right, man. Appreciate it. I'm a big fan. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for calling in.
All right, perfect. I like that. As soon as one guy hangs up, another guy called in. What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good, man. How are you?
Just a question. When you're inviting girls back to your place for like a wine date, I'm finding that I'm getting some that are flakes. They originally agree to come, and then shit happens. And I'm just wanting to know what you can do. Like some of the girls that I've met, like if I talk to them on the phone, getting a little comfort, it kind of helps. But I'm just wanting to know if there's things I can do to maybe reduce the flakiness, or especially when they agree, I'll say, would you like to split a bottle of wine on my romantic balcony, that type thing.
Let me ask you this. So after the girl flakes, are you kind of trying to figure out what was the reason that she didn't make it? I mean, there's really three reasons a girl might flake. One is she had some unanswered concern or objection. 2, she lost attraction for you, which will really only happen if you said something dumb over text. Or 3, it's just bad luck. Like, for example, she had this happen, her cat died, whatever, right? And each one of those 3 should be handled in a different manner. So are you finding out what exactly is the root cause of the flake?
Sometimes, but sometimes they just ghost me. I never heard back from them.
Wow.
So a line you can try that works really well for me is I genuinely didn't take you for the flaky type. And that works so fucking well because neutral wants to be the flaky type.
Yeah, that works really well. That's amazing how women don't want to be considered flakes.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. It really comes down to getting to the bottom, trying to get to the bottom of the root cause of the flake. Again, like maybe she legitimately had something come up that day. And if that's the case, she's like, hey, sorry, I got COVID. I genuinely didn't take you for the flaky type. That's not going to really work there. Or for example, she has some unanswered concern or objection. I'm actually putting out a video this week. It's perfectly to answer this question. It's called How to Respond to Difficult Text. And there's going to be a lot of examples in there of girls flaking for like the most crazy shit and how I overcame that. So definitely look for that video when it comes out next day or two. I think it's going to be very relevant to your question.
That's awesome. Guys, y'all are doing a great job. I really appreciate it, man. Y'all take care.
Thanks, bro.
All right, another call. Hey, man, how's it going?
How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. So here's the problem I've been running into. So I keep trying to talk to girls and text them. I keep getting them the message, and then what I do is I just fap off to the hey, and then I get in this circle that I don't hang out with them, and it just keeps happening over and over.
So why does it keep happening over and over? Like,
yeah, I'm a little confused.
Repeating. At what point is the cycle repeating?
It's like a vicious cycle, right?
Like, is it happening with every girl? And are you trying to maintain the same kind of conversation with every girl? Are you using the same lines with every girl?
But so what exactly is happening?
Don't message on Tinder or Bumble, and then I'll just snap off to the hey.
You just say hey, that's it?
Just from there, hey, yeah. And then I don't want to meet him in real life, and then it just keeps going over and over again.
Okay, so hang on. Let's explore this a little further. We need more information. So, are you saying that the conversation is going good, but then the girl drops off when you go for the meetup, or are you saying you're not able to really get the conversation going in the first place? You're not able to get past the opener, because those two are different situations.
She'll start the conversation with hey, and then I'll never even answer, and then I'll just go about my business and then never hang out with her every time.
Wait, so you're the one that doesn't answer her?
Seems like it.
Correct.
Right,
so the solution is you answer her. Like, what do you? This is like what do you mean? You have to respond to the girl for her for this to work out. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time.
But that's the problem. I just can't, and I don't hang out with her.
You can't answer her. Like, why can't you answer her?
Not the same.
So like, okay, so you have to also think in terms of like, women do not really have conversational leading skills. Okay, women just respond to what you're talking to. Okay, so if you ask them a question, they will respond. But they are going to, if they open to you or they are replying to you or hey, they are going to reply something like, hey, how are you? Hey.
I think this guy's trolling, and there's no way someone is this confused about. He's not responding to the chick. The solution is to respond to the chick.
You're right, but then I got one more. Like, so then on Bumble, right? The ones that do message, all they say is hey, and they just put it right back on you and defeat the purpose of the app.
Okay, I mean, so as a man, you can take the lead, bro. Like, as a man, you're supposed to take the lead. First of all, I don't really agree with Bumble's algorithm of letting the girl.
Bro. This guy's trolling. There's no way. There's no need to answer a troll question seriously.
Okay, all right.
If he's serious, then he can YouTube how to use a phone or something like that and go from there. Not to be a dick if this guy's being serious, but I severely doubt it. Let's move on to the next call.
Right.
This guy's like confused about how to use a phone.
Hello. Okay. Hey,
something like damn, I would say.
Speak up, bro. Hello?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hello?
Yeah, man, we can listen to you.
We can hear you.
Speak up.
Hello?
Hello?
Let's move on to the next guy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, move on to the next guy.
Hang up. He is listening. He's listening to the YouTube and then answering on the phone.
Yeah. We gotta be more quick on hanging up if guys are wasting time.
Hey, man, how's it going? What's up? All right, it's fine. He just hung up.
What is this string of weirdos we're getting? Like, what the fuck? What is it like? 9 o'clock is a weird o'clock, or 10 o'clock is a weird o'clock?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Hello, hi.
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
How do I get out of my head when I talk to girls?
Okay, so your question is, how do you get out of your head when you talk to girls?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are you in your head when you talk to your friends?
No.
Yeah, so you are capable of having interactions. The reason I asked that question because it means you are able of having interactions with people where you're not in your head, right? The difference is that you're putting additional pressure on yourself when you talk to girls together, right? And you're kind of overanalyzing yourself. So do less of the analysis, just drop back on that and kind of treat it almost in the way you treat your friends. The only difference is you add some sexuality into the mix. So, don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to, get your game right. Typically, when people say stuff like this, it just means they're overanalyzing. They're like too focused on like trying to get it perfect. It's a form of perfectionism.
Okay. Another question.
as a beginner, someone who's beginner at games, should they be scripted most of the time or just be natural?
Me and IndianPE would probably have different takes on it. What's your take, IndianPE?
So I like to have a good mixture of natural and lines because that has worked well for me. So if you're starting off, you can rely on lines, but don't rely on lines for every single thing you say. That's when you will get analysis paralysis, and you will feel like, oh fuck, I should have said this line instead of that. Okay, so to begin off, to start off, you can use lines, but not for every single thing.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan of lines, and that's not saying that my style is better than that other style. I just think different strokes for different pokes. Like, personally, I really don't like to do scripted shit. I don't like lines. I think it comes off like awkward and cringy. Although I have met people like IndianPE who can pull off lines well. I think that the reason it works well for him is because he doesn't rely on them too heavily, and they are congruent around his personality, and they're congruent with the way he really is. So, like, I have seen other people try to use his lines and them working really badly when it's almost the same exact line. So I think it has to be kind of congruent to you and who you are. Like, if I use IndianPE's line, it's gonna sound fucking retarded, right? Because I would just have a different sense of humor and just different style. So, but personally, I prefer more natural style of the game, just chatting up chicks and then moving things forward, really, and sexual tension. Really, those are the three big things.
Does it make sense?
Okay, thank you guys. Great.
All right, bro.
Thank you, man.
Hey man, how's it going? Reduce the speaker volume on YouTube.
Yeah, please mute your YouTube, dude.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? Hey, so I'm calling. I have a few questions for y'all.
Go for it, Brad. Ask us.
Yeah, so I'm in like San Francisco, which is like one of the most liberal cities of the country, and basically, it just seems like lately not many people have been on Tinder on this type of area as of for say last year or the year before. Do you know what's going on, or like, because I think get matches, but the issue is that match qualities are much lower than they were last year or the year before. So do you know what's going on like in this area or California?
What city do you live in again? Sorry, I missed that part.
I'm sorry?
What city did you say you live in? What area?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Oh, okay. That's SF. Okay, so yeah, so SF is notoriously known to be kind of bad for game, just simply because the ratio there is really shitty because of all the tech jobs. So SF really doesn't have the best ratio. That being said, I have had clients who live in SF who did get really good results, right? So you have to probably, on average, you have to put in a little bit more work. And also, Tinder gets a little bit more competitive every year. So for me, it's worked out well because let's say Tinder's becoming 5% more competitive every year. But every year, let's say my profile gets 20% better, right? Because I get better pictures, I get in better shape, blah, blah, blah. So you kind of, if your profile always stays the same, then you are going to get almost like outspaced, right? You have to kind of keep improving as well to stay ahead of the competition. So what you can do is you can make a post in the forums with a screenshot of your profile, and then we can give you a better idea of what exactly you can improve on.
Oh no, I still get the same amount of matches per day. I just like the quality is decreasing, you know what I mean? It's just not the same as it was like a couple of years ago back in 2017.
So it could just be
quality
like people,
was like.
it could also be just like people moving out of San Francisco because it's too expensive, and right now, like because of still like the pandemic going on.
I don't know. I don't feel like a whole city of 1 million people just got uglier. Like that would be like, I mean, theoretically it's possible, but I can't imagine like a whole city just getting uglier. I feel like, okay, so first of all, I have an observation, right? So from doing Tinder, I got on Tinder in like 2015. And I will say that on average, the quality of girls on Tinder has gotten a little worse. But if you go on Bumble and Hinge, the quality there is higher. So one thing you could do is just diversify and get on different apps like, Inner Circle. I think the League is pretty big in SF. You can also get on Field because that's a hardcore kink community, BDSM community, and Hinge or Bumble should be the big ones.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool, man. All right. Well, then that's my question. So thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, dude. Hope that helps. Take care, man. All right. We definitely need to do the secretary in the future. We'll have my dog be the secretary. Rager will pick up like, ow! Like,
welcome to PWF. Please stay on hold.
Imagine if we got like my dog.
British girl. That's how sexy it is. Hey, how's it going? What's up, man? What's up, man? How's it going?
Hello, sir.
Speak up, brother.
Speak up or forever hold your peace. All right, let's move on.
Hanging up in 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.
Guys, if you try calling in and you have a tech issue, you can try again, right? Yeah, just try to get your technical shit on point. So you can hear the questions.
Hey man, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
So yeah, I got a question about experience I had last weekend. So long story short, I invited a classmate over from my college. I invited her over for a bottle of wine, and she seemed pretty down. She came over, and we had a good time, but I was unsuccessful in escalating to a kiss, and I'm wondering if I was trying to escalate too fast or if I had gone about it in an uncalibrated way.
How long did you spend with her? How much time did you spend with her?
She was over at my house for about 2 hours.
Okay.
And
Okay, so you said you weren't able to get the kiss, or you weren't able to get past the kiss?
Both times I tried to go in for the kiss, she leaned away.
How many times did you try to go for the kiss throughout the date?
Twice.
Okay, so they're in likely Las Vegas.
In my room, and then we were on my bed, and then that's when I tried to go in for the second time, and she was like, "Oh, hey, I think I'm gonna go. I had a really nice time, but it's getting late. I should probably head home."
So it was 2 hours in before you tried to go for the second kiss?
Yeah.
And how far in the date was it before you went for the first kiss?
Probably like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Okay, that's a pretty substantial time. Now you said you were sitting. This is key information. I don't mean to be super inquisitive, but you were sitting on your bed. You said.
Yeah, we were sitting beside each other, just sitting next to each other on my bed.
Okay. Well, how was her eye contact? Did you guys have a strong eye contact, or was she looking all over the place?
Personally, I have very strong eye contact all the time, and I think she had pretty good eye contact with me from what I remember. The whole vibe of the date, the whole time was very playful and flirty. This was the first time we hung out, and we got along very well with no problems. The chemistry was great, but I did definitely get the vibe that she was just a little more reserved or shy, and she didn't receive my physical escalations very well.
Now, why do you say that? What did she do besides, moving away from the kiss that made you conclude that she didn't receive your physical escalation well?
Well, in the past, even I've classed with her, and I don't know if she's just being playful or whatever, but I'll touch her on the shoulder or something real nonchalant, and she'll just be like, "Oh, don't touch me," but she'll say it in a playful way. So I'm not sure if she's trolling me or she's literally saying, "Hey, don't touch me."
Okay, most likely she's trolling. So let's take a look at the facts. Let's reanalyze the situation. So first, this chick came straight over. Second of all, she sat on your bed, which is actually a huge thing because generally speaking, girls who don't want to fuck, they won't sit on your bed at your place. 3, you said that there was, good eye contact, good banter, good chemistry. So when a chick is like, "Hey, you're making me uncomfortable, don't do that." okay, that's like serious. Like, okay, obviously, of course, you have to respect that, and you have to be like, hey, yeah, I hope I didn't, make you uncomfortable, right? But if you're getting something like, hey, why are you touching me like that, right? That's a totally different thing, right? That's for being playful. Like, it's funny that you asked this question because I had a date last night where I must have tried to kiss this chick 20 times before I got the make out, right? And you know what was the thing that was stopping her from actually making out with me? She had these crazy fucking braces, and she was worried that she was gonna fucking bite my tongue off with her braces. That was her concern, right? It was something so silly. I had to try a bunch of times to kind of figure it out, and ultimately, like it went in a good direction. But the point I'm trying to make is that, you have to be persistent, and like, I'm not going to wait an hour and a half to go for it. Now, of course, this goes without saying, you don't want to actually like make the girl feel pressured or anything, right? Like, she should know that if she's uncomfortable, she's free to leave, or, she doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to. But at the same time, you do have to be persistent, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with being persistent. There is something wrong with being pushy. And guys often misunderstand the difference between those two. Like, most chicks really find persistence attractive. Like, they like it when a guy, goes for what he wants, right? Again, as long as you're not, actually, being pushy, or you're not, actually making her feel uncomfortable, that should go without saying. Like, it's good to be persistent. So the fact that you tried twice, and the second time was 2 hours in, right? Like, it's already getting pretty late now. I'll try within 30 minutes, right? Within 20 minutes. And I'll keep trying like every 10 minutes or so until the chick, vast majority of the time the chick, ultimately like we hook up, right? She's just like a playful game. It sounds like that's what's going on. You're playing like a little game. The chick is playing a little coy, right? And she wants to see how you respond to that. Because you know what she doesn't want? She doesn't want a guy who either completely gives up or a guy that gets super logical or serious about her. Why won't you kiss me? Why won't you kiss me? That's what like half the guys do. But if you're a guy who can stay calm and persistent at the face of rejection, where you're like, look at this, like we almost just kissed when she clearly rejects you, right? And you're just like having fun with it and keep going for it. That's what girls want to see.
Okay. So we're supposed to hang out next weekend, and what would be like the biggest piece of advice you could give me for our next date? Just try to start escalating sooner, or what do you think?
Yeah, don't give up so easily. Be persistent, but also going for the makeout. I think guys often think that going for the makeout is like the first part of escalation, but it's not. That's like some mid, it's like further down the line. Like, I typically start escalating with my eyes, like strong eye contact, then, touches, put on her leg. If a chick takes my hand and moves it from her leg, I'll probably be like, oh, these hands, they just have a mind of their own. Like, they just keep going and going. Like, I'll just make a joke out of it. Also with proximity, right? The closer you sit to someone, the more sexual tension there is. That's also very underrated. Proximity, just light touches. You can also escalate verbally, just the way you're, the way the conversation is going, and also with your tonality. If you just slow down your speech and you talk a little bit more sexy-like, it's going to be a lot different than when you talk like this at regular speed. So there's numerous ways you can escalate. So really focus on sexual tension, and then just be persistent. Go for it. Now, obviously, of course, I want to keep repeating this just in case you don't want to do anything that makes you feel comfortable. If you're a guy who's a beginner, you're not really good at reading social cues, I do advise you to proceed with caution. When you get advanced, like you become really good. Like, I can tell if a girl is going to get uncomfortable before it actually happens, right? So I never have really bad dates or like whatever, because I can read the situation if I am, moving too fast before we even get there, right? So, but like beginners usually can't do that. So if you are like really bad at reading social cues, you do want to probably err on the side of caution. But yeah, just, my advice is to, what's your take on this, Mr. IndianPE? I feel like I've just been rambling.
Yeah, so the main thing is like you must have been lacking sexual tension, okay? Because like if she's not responding to the kiss, maybe start off with like keeping the conversation very sexual. Okay, the sexual could just be like, okay, how long ago was your last relationship? Okay, when you ask that, you can figure out maybe she might have someone she's like trying to hook up with. Okay, that could be one thing, and also it could just be like you can figure out how her relationship was. When you figure out her relationship, the next thing you could do is like, how was the sex life? Okay, so you keep the conversation very sexual at least. It could just be logical if you're like very new to getting comfortable very recently towards like sexual topics. But if you keep it even logical, the way you, my God, one guy is calling, even though he can tell that we are on a call right now. Okay. This is like 15 times. He's left a voicemail too. Okay, so coming back to whatever, the sexual tension. You have to focus on building some sexual tension. Building sexual tension can be, at least like 2 things. One is maintaining strong eye contact. If she's at your house, she doesn't have any other option to but look back. Okay, so if she's looking back, it's a win, because if she's looking back, that means she's comfortable with the tension. She's comfortable with holding that tension. She's comfortable about man, it's the same guy.
Jesus Christ.
So if you do that, it's like the next step is kissing. So she's going to feel it. She's going to feel that. At the same time, try to hold pauses. The more you talk, the more the sexual tension is broken. Okay, if you talk lesser than the girl, that's when you know that you are building tension. Okay, it doesn't have to be.
That's the difficult part for me because I fucking love to talk. But yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
You can also check out my video, How to Get Laid, Build Sexual Tension. I have a demonstration in there. So take a look at that. It's right now our most popular video, which is mind-blowing. But yeah, so check that out as well.
Yeah, I've seen that video a few times, but the girl that was in that video just was acting like very wildly different from my case, it seems.
For sure, yeah. Well, the difference is that I've already banged that trick multiple times. So there actually is a lot of, yeah, I mean, the hard, I would love to do a video where, you know, it is with a new date, but I'm not going to be, you know, like, hey, we don't know each other, but can I videotape this? So you know what I mean? So, yeah, so that's the tricky part. But, you know, a lot of the principles in that video do apply, like proximity, sexual tension, slowing down your speech with really any girl. But the big takeaways we have for you, man, is build sexual tension and be more persistent. You know, don't try twice, try a bunch of times.
Got it. All right. I appreciate it.
And of course, I'm going to keep saying this, within reason. You don't want to do anything that makes a girl feel uncomfortable or pressured or anything like that. Just want to keep throwing that in there in case, you know, let me actually answer this question I saw. I think it's good. Hey, Alex and IndianPE, just tuning in. That'd be a good way to end things.
One minute. This guy keeps calling.
Let's take the call. Let's take the call.
Hey, man, you called 15 times. What's up, bro?
That'd be a good question.
Hello?
Yeah, man, what's up?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if there was like a delay. I didn't want to miss my chance or something. So other people were calling.
It's all good, bro. So, well, yeah, what question you got for us?
So I'm here watching your live. I couldn't happen to notice some guy called earlier, and he was talking about like how he flapped off to the girl saying "Hey." Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be honest, you guys kind of like maybe took it as a joke, but I kind of have the same problem. Like on Tinder and stuff, like a hot girl will, you know, like they'll respond with "Hey," and it's like I also flap off to the "Hey." You know, like, well,
it's another troll.
You know, this hot girl must find me attractive enough to say "Hey" back. So then I just flap off to the thought of that and like the "Hey," you know.
All right. So all right.
This guy's promise that he jerks off to the word "Hey."
Okay. So
what happens if the girl says, "Hey, what's up"? Does he get like multiple orgasms? Hey, how's it going, babe? He just fucking jizzes his pants like, oh.
All right. So let's say, okay, let's all right, bro. Like first thing.
No. Let's not answer this question seriously. Let's not feed the trolls. Like let's move on. Yeah.
Dude, I honestly feel like, I mean, they are struggling with this because, you know, like guys do message girls for like.
Wait, he's saying, wait, hang on. Am I misunderstanding? But he's saying he jerks off to her saying "Hey."
Slacks off.
What's the question?
Slacks off. He's
slack. Oh, I thought he was saying faps off. Oh, so he slacks off. I thought he was saying he faps off to the girl saying "Hey."
Slacks off. That's what I was.
Oh, that's what I was confused about. I was like, why are you answering this guy who's saying he jerks off the girl's opener?
Let's answer
this question. Yeah, dude, if you weren't trolling, then my bad. You know, I misheard you. I thought you were saying you jerk off to her opener, but we'll answer your question. So he slacks off.
Let me answer it, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
First, guys, you have to understand that hot girls never have to take up the burden to hold a conversation. Okay, it's as for you as a man, it's your responsibility to carry the conversation, to speak interesting topics, to help her get to know each other, to let her know that you're interested romantically, to let her know you're interested sexually, and that all the responsibility falls upon you. No matter how much she's replying, she's texting, no matter what she's texting, all the responsibility falls upon you. Why? Because you're a fucking man. That's it. You don't have to logically think why the fuck are you responsible. Well, you guys matched. As a man, you take the lead, and she's a girl. She's going to follow. So that's why she's going to just send a hey. She's never going to be like, hey, let's fuck. Okay, that's never going to happen. That's only going to happen if you're like a fucking famous DJ or some shit. So do not expect girls to be like, hey, let's hang out tomorrow night. That's never going to happen. Okay?
Oh, it does happen occasionally. It's not more. Yeah, I mean, if the problem is you're slacking off too much, then really the solution is quite simple. Don't slack off so much. Like, if you don't have the discipline to like respond to girls over text, how the fuck are you gonna force yourself to grow your business or go to the gym or even like, run a date or like, this is like the easiest with the peasy. Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to have sympathy for someone whose issue is like that they're too lazy to respond to a girl's opener. Like, come on. Let's take this question, because this is actually a good question this person asked. Hey, Alex and IndianPE, just tuning in. What would be a good way to end things with a rotation girl? I don't want to ghost. So my solution to this is a white lie. So I would say something like, hey, I've had a lot of fun with you recently. Hey, like, you're really awesome. But, or like, hey, I've had a lot of fun with you, but recently I'm taking some time off for myself. Or I'm recently decided to get back together with my ex, and it wouldn't be fair to her. You're awesome, and I hope we can stay friends, right? Like something like that. A white lie is always the best in these situations so that you don't hurt her feelings, right?
All right. Does that make, hopefully that makes sense to the guy who commented.
All right. I still feel like the guy was saying I fap up to her opener. So you're saying he was slacks off? Okay. It sounded like he was saying I fap off to her opener. And she said, hey.
Imagine that. All right, it's the same guy. It's the same guy. All right.
Let's just block him.
Hey, man, how's it going? Yeah. Hope you answered your question.
I just called. I think you guys misunderstood me. I don't slack off. I actually jack. I like jack off my penis.
Yeah, so I told you he was a troll.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of tell by his general bitch-like voice how he like sounds literally like he has a dildo up his ass right now, and he's like kind of jacking off to this live stream. Honestly, it just boggles my mind how these dudes have like no lives. All right, let's move on.
Hey, IndianPE, hey Alex, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
So my question is basically pointed towards IndianPE.
Yeah, man.
So I kind of like have similar background to yourself. Like I'm an immigrant here, and my problem, the main problem I face is like I have good conversational skills, good texting, and I can get a girl to my place.
Mm-hmm.
Now what happens is like with all my texting and conversations is initially thinking that I am from this country, from US, and then like whenever she meets me, she's kind of like let down because like I have an accent, and you know how it is like it's a totally different feeling that they get like when they like meet a person like who hasn't grown up here or something like that. And I've had a lot of bad experiences like due to that, because like a couple of girls just were like after a few minutes of time spending together, they were like, okay, I'm not feeling the same vibe that we're having in texting, and then like I have to leave or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't know like if you would address that thing like during the texting, or like you try to like how do you manage like coming off like natural and smooth on that cases?
Okay, so like the accent you have right now, right? It's the same accent I had about 2 years ago. Okay, so the whole reason I started losing that accent, like, or else like the way I sound right now, is by watching a lot of TV shows. Okay, watching a lot of TV shows, and also only hanging out with white guys or white friends, or like being in a worker environment where I'm only talking to people who are not from my background. Okay, this is the way you actually like learn picking up that accent. Even if you're not like taking up courses, there's actually accent courses you can go to over there. Like you will build this up very natural. Okay, so these are like two different ways you can try it out. Right now, like your only exposure is with these girls, so it is going to be difficult because you're not going to be hanging out with girls 24/7, right? So you will have to like get over it. I'm not gonna say that this accent is still very sexy. No, it's never sexy. Like I've had.
I think it's sexy. Clearly, this guy's been fapping off to fucking this thing. So if he faps off to the opener, he definitely faps off to your accent. All right, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, so you do have to get over the accent. Okay, it's not a quick fix. You will have to get over it, and the way you get over it is like watching a lot of TV shows. Just drop all of your like fucking Bollywood or Tollywood or Hollywood movies. Stop watching them ASAP. Okay, I'm pretty sure maybe you might have to watch it with like your friends. Even friends, drop them. What is your main goal? Your main goal is to fuck as many women as you want, and maybe have a good relationship with women. So this is how you're going to get to it.
Yeah, man. What is the name of the course that you told? Because like I don't have I don't have an option to hang out with American friends because like COVID time, and then like my job sucks right now. Like that is like literally impossible. So the only thing that I can go for is the course that you just told.
So you can just Google it.
Well, hang on 1 second. Sorry to interfere, but why can't you hang out with American people? Like my fellow Americans.
Well, right now, like it's because of the I live by myself, and my job does not allow such kind of things. My job is like pretty much do-it-yourself kind of job, not like team-based job. So, like, I don't see any options, to be honest.
But why can't you make friends who are like, like American based on your hobbies and shit, just mutual interests?
Which city are you? Which city are you in right now?
Chicago.
Okay, in Chicago, we
have plenty of PWF people in Chicago.
There's a lot of PWF people in Chicago. You can go to the main Facebook group, or you can go to the forums, and you just say, man, is there any wings out here? So that there'll be a lot of people who are willing to hang out, and you can just like talk about these women all the damn time if you want. Even the moment you wake up, you'll be like, hey man, can you come over? I'm gonna cook some food. Let's sit and talk bitches. That's it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that's a symptom of a larger issue. If you don't have any like friends you can hang out with, that's the first thing you should like. You're capable of making friends. It's not like you can't speak English at all. Like we can understand you, and if we can understand you, that means other people can understand you. Just you want to make some American friends and just people you can hang out with. Otherwise, there's gonna be larger issues, to say it that way. So on top of the accent elimination courses, definitely go and make some friends.
Yeah, that sounds like great advice. Yeah, I mean, like I'm kind of like, well, the hobby thing is great. Like just finding some guys that we share the same hobbies. It's just like, sometimes like I'm not even sure like what my hobbies are actually, because like few times I just like went out and played soccer and made some friends, but like I don't feel like consistent motivation to go out and play soccer.
Okay, you like fucking girls, right?
But that doesn't make actual friends outside.
Okay, you like banging chicks, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so there we go. That's a hobby right there. You can meet up with other, PWF or just non-PWF, PUAs or whatever, like guys who like game in your area, and that could be your mutual thing. I met so many friends through game, especially when I first moved to Los Angeles. I knew two people. My ex-girlfriend and another guy. I met so many people through game. Like I was just active in the Facebook community, and I just met wings through that. And some of them became my really good friends. So that's a hobby in of itself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I never thought that is a hobby, but like I'll definitely try that out, and I'll make a like post in the forum, and then you'll also know like who I am, and then you can also like comment there if you see that post.
Yeah, dude. We'll help you out.
I will be there. Mastermind. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. That was my question. Thank you for answering it.
All right, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah. You as well. Bye.
Bye-bye. Huh?
Dude, we had a really funny comment. I skimmed through it. It says,
put it up.
It was something like, hang on. I want to see if I can find this. Okay. Every Indian guy thinks he doesn't have the accent of another Indian guy. No, I would say you definitely have less of an accent than him. Like he's still, believe it or not, I had a thick Russian accent when I moved to America. Like English was my second language. When I moved to America, I talked like this.
you were still in your developmental stages of your talking.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Definitely. You're right. It's definitely a lot easier when that.
All right, let's see. Next call. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hello, I have a, this is something that you're connected, I just want to connect up, and then we want to
I think we have another troll.
Yeah, it's a troll.
I don't understand. Like, do these guys not have anything better to do with their fucking Sunday nights than troll?
I understand what he said. Couldn't. I'll actually not answer the calls which says unknown caller. Okay? I think.
No, well, then we might weed out a lot of people. No, I don't think.
Hey, I just wanted to ask Alex this question. Like, when he started, he didn't have PWF. How did he analyze his texting, and how did he learn?
Yeah, man, I saw you actually posting that in the comments. So, yeah, unfortunately, I did not have a community like PWF. A lot of it was through just talking to my friends. Like, I had friends who knew, maybe this guy was better at this guy was better at connection. So I would run it past my friends, right? So that's really the best resource I had. And a lot of it was also then I would put together like just looking for patterns. So let's say I had 10 interactions that did not end in a date. So then I would analyze those and see what's the common theme. And then what I would do is I would also look at interactions that did lead to a date and see, okay, what was different about the ones where the date happened and the ones where it didn't happen, and look for patterns. Fortunately, nowadays, you spoiled motherfuckers, you guys don't have to do this anymore because you have PWF and you can literally just get accurate feedback about whatever. But yeah, so that was kind of the method I used to go about at the time. It's not as efficient. I mean, I definitely, it took me a bit to figure out a lot of the concepts, but I would say it's a combination of honest self-analysis and just talking to my friends.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alex. It answered my question.
Sure, man. Thank you for calling.
I felt left out when an Indian is asking you.
I know, dude. I know. I want some fucking fob Russians to call in from Moscow and be like, "Hello, I am." I get that in the comments sometimes. It always cracks me up. When they respond, when they leave me comments in Russian, and then I'm struggling to read it because I can barely read Russian anymore because it's been so long. I'm trying to understand what they're saying.
All right, another call.
Dude, I had a date with a Russian chick last night.
What's up? God. How's it going?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, man.
Somebody.
Hey, who's this?
What's up?
So I have a question. I just got out of a long marriage, and I'm back into dating. I haven't dated in 6 years. And I'm attracted to younger females, 18 and up. And my brother and my family are telling me that that's too young for me. I'm 35 years old. I just want to know what age range I should be looking for.
Well, what age range are you attracted to? Be more specific.
More specific on what?
What age specifically? Are you talking about 25-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 22-year-olds?
18 and up, you know what I mean? Younger girls. The girls that are my age, I feel like I can see the age in them, and I'm just not attracted to that.
All right, simple, bro. It's you don't have to listen to your. Did you say that your mom and brother are saying that they're
no. My brother and one of my friends.
Yeah, don't listen to them. Who the fuck are they to tell? I mean, I still have a couple of friends who are 40 years old and they're still banging 19-year-old girls. It's not weird unless you feel it's weird. Okay. It's if anything, these 19-year-old, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, they have this daddy complex. They want a super old guy, telling them, bossing them around, shit like that. So if anything, they would be more attracted to you too. Okay. So you shouldn't be oh, fuck, that guy said I shouldn't be talking to these girls. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be. If you're attracted to them, go fucking talk to them.
Yeah, the big thing if you want to attract younger girls is to have a lot of value. 35 is not old, dude. I'm 30. We're not that far apart. I don't consider 35 old, and I don't think you're too old to be going for as long as they're over 18. 18, 19.
Younger too. I look mid-20s, and I get told that all the time.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with that, and you can attract those girls. You do have to, kind of be honest with yourself. And basically, if you're like you said, you got a marriage. I have no idea what you look like, but if you kind of have a gut and, you know, your game is rusty, that's going to make it a lot harder. But, you know, if you're like, you know, in good shape and, you know, you know, whatever, your dick functions and all of that, which it should at 35, you know, then you're going to be able to get those girls, right? The more value you can bring to the table, whether that's social value, sexual market value, the easier it's going to be. That being said, you know, I personally, at least what I do is I like to keep my options open. So I have my age range on Tinder set to 18 to 45 because there's some hot fucking MILFs out there. And there's also, you know, a lot of hot 18-year-olds. So I keep my options open and just, you know, base it on the girl. But yeah,
I don't really, you know, if I click with someone and I'm attracted to someone, I don't really care about age there, you know?
Exactly. If you don't share good chemistry with them, like it doesn't fucking matter. Like no matter what age, you know, you could meet a 19-year-old chick with a maturity of like 30 years old, and you could meet a 28-year-old chick with a maturity.
Yeah, I would say though the only caveat is for long-term shit. Me personally, I like for long-term, I would want a chick over 25. I just feel like I'm 30 and chicks are like between 18 to 22, 23 on such a like different like level than me. Like they're great for sex, but like they're just like going to clubs and shit. And like we're too misaligned. So personally, for like more booty calls and consistency, I do prefer like chicks over 25 for that. But that's just me.
Yeah, like my wife was older than me, and so like I just don't. I guess I want to get away from that so much. You know, like someone with a lot of life experience is not really what I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
I got you, man.
Focus on, yeah, just focus on your own taste. Doesn't matter what people think. Doesn't matter if it's a family or whatever.
Yeah, you know what's funny? My dad.
It's a big start to try to learn everything you can and get back into the openers and attraction stuff. And like I have a lot of matches already, but I stay busy and I don't have time to like follow up on the game and stuff. So I'm trying to fill in the material with the books and stuff as I can, and I don't know, I need to step into the floor, you know, get that uncomfortable feeling and do what I'm supposed to do, you know?
I only heard about half of that, but IndianPE seems to know what's up, so I'll let you respond.
I mean, yeah, so, yeah, like, don't think in terms of like, oh, this girl might respond better to this kind of game, things like that. Like, totally depends on just the way she is. That's it. Like her personality-wise, to certain text, she will respond in a certain way. So you shouldn't be like, oh, for 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, I should game them differently, and 30-year-olds, you should game them differently. It's just that you riff off what she's saying. If she's saying something very small, low investment, you can just be like, okay, why don't you come over, smoke some weed? That's it.
Yeah, there might be some subtleties in the texting, but it's going to be much more whether she's explicitly DTF or relationship girl rather than whether she's 18 or 25. There will be some small subtleties, but it's good to keep things simple and focus on the big picture.
Makes sense, bro?
Okay, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. This is like my first time seeing your live show, but I like you guys are awesome.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for calling in.
All right, bye.
Dude, my dad used to like fucking like always say like, oh, you're too old for like 18-year-old girls, or like, you know, I like women my own age. My parents are separated, and then my dad fucking starts dating a chick who's younger than me. I'm like, oh, really, Dad? Yeah, girls your own age, huh?
All right, getting a call. Let's see. What's up, man? How's it going?
Hello?
Hey, man.
Hi.
Yo, man, this is DeQuavis.
Oh, shit, he just hung up.
Oh, yeah, man, we lost you. Call back in again.
Call back.
But anyway, so I was telling the story. I had a date with a Russian chick last night, and she was like my Russian, I can communicate in Russian just fine, but it's rusty. Like I left Russia when I was 7, and I don't really get to practice it a lot. Like only maybe with my dad sometimes. So like she was teaching me like dirty talk in Russian. It was like fucking hilarious. I was like, "Ты хочешь мой sperm сейчас?" Like, which means like you want my cum now? Like it's like fucking epic shit.
Hey man, how's it going? What's up, bro?
Hey, I was just curious. What would you tell yourselves when you were learning early in the game? What would you tell yourselves to substantially reduce the learning curve, or like increase your learning and experience much faster?
Okay, good question. You want to take this one first?
Yeah, I would tell myself that girls are the biggest freaks on planet Earth. Girls are the biggest freaks on planet Earth. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I would tell myself this. I would tell myself to take more action. You think you're taking enough action, but you're actually not taking enough action. So I tell myself to take more action. I would tell myself that no girl is above me. No girl is like I used to when I was getting into game. I used to kind of put girls a little bit on a pedestal, not to a large extent, but I used to think like these 10s, they're these perfect creatures. I would tell myself, a lot of these 10s, they live like fucking pigs. Like they have nothing going for themselves but their looks. I mean, sure, there's a lot of 10s who do have great careers and whatnot. But a lot of these chicks, you put them on this huge pedestal, but in reality, that's just, and as you get more into game and you like actually like get to know some of these really hot chicks and you see how they live, and you're like, all this chick is going for her is her looks. So if I could just kind of communicate that to my earlier self, that would, skip me a lot of like the, kind of like trying to like put girls on a pedestal type of mindset I used to have. That would be a big thing. Also, don't waste your time learning from sources that are not good. So you have to ask this limit test. This is the litmus test. Is the person who I'm learning from actually successful in that area? So for example, would you learn, bodybuilding from a guy who's skinny or fat? No. Would you learn business from a homeless guy? No. But yeah, in the pickup community, like some people learn pickup from guys who have no success with women. Like you see these red pill guys who are trying to give advice, but their dating life is horrible. So why the fuck would I want to learn from them? So I did waste some time like learning from people who I shouldn't have been learning from. So just be weary with where you get your information. That would be another thing.
Cool. Did you guys reach to these conclusions or like ideas just through experience alone, or was there anything else?
What was the question?
So he asked, did you guys reach to this conclusion through experience, or what was it? Or was it something else?
Yeah, definitely personal experience.
Personal experience, and also like having a good mentor.
Yeah, I mean, check out. You can read my article I wrote a while ago, my honest review of RSD. I mean, in that article, I kind of break down like there was a lot of things I did learn from RSD, but also all the ways it led me astray. And you can relate to this as well. I mean, when you were getting into pickup, you were heavily following RSD, and you did get some benefit out of it, but you were also having all these dates where you would pull chicks and nothing would happen. You have like 10 people hanging out in your living room using the after party pool. Great fucking pool. So, I did lose some time, and you lost, I think, even more time just following, bad information.
Yep. It was trying to it's just learning from experience and learning from guys who will give you the right advice. Like just making sure that you're staying away from bad advice.
Yeah, like now I've gotten much wiser with that. Like I won't take business advice from someone who's not successful in business. Versus that's something I might have done like 5 years ago. Like, well, they seem cool. Like no, like if I want to take business advice, that person has to be successful in business. Okay, let's take the next question. Thank you, bro. Thank you for calling in.
Thanks for calling in, bro.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Let's go for like another 20 minutes.
I wish there was a way when someone calls in, I could just mute, but I cannot.
Yeah, we're going to get a PWF secretary for the next one.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Hello?
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Yo, man, this is the Quavis. Dude, I gotta tell you something real quick. Like, are you busy right now?
We're kind of in the middle of a live stream right now, answering questions. Is this like your friend or is this a caller?
No. It's a caller. What's up?
Yo, dude, I don't know how to say this, but like 2 weeks ago, I went out to the bar with the boys, and like your girl was there. I had no idea she was your girl, but dude, she was all over me, and like I ended up taking her home, and like I actually ended up slamming her, bro. Did she by any chance tell you about me?
Yeah.
What was her name?
She told me that you had a very small dick, bro. Sorry to hear that.
What was her name? Tell us.
What was her name, by the way?
Yeah, dude. Like I promised, bro. I had no idea it was your girl. Like I would never do that to you. But like,
okay. So what was this chick's name?
Like,
what was her name?
To her recently?
What was her name, bro?
What was her name?
I got your number from her phone. Like she said.
Okay. Why don't you just tell us her name then?
Like, just let you know, like man to man, you know.
What's her name?
Yo, what's her name? I'm the one trying to come clean here. Like, if she's coming to me, like, there's clearly something you're not giving her, right? So.
Okay, so but you don't know her name, though. But you don't know her name. That's interesting, man. Very credible story. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Fuck this guy. Oh, people in the comment are saying that he sounds like Nelk. He does kind of sound like Nelk. I would actually love it for Nelk to prank call us. You know Nelk? Nelk Boys? Yeah, they have a YouTube channel. It's pretty. They do like a lot of pranks and shit. They have like 10 million subs or something like that. They're really big. But yeah, they're pretty funny. Nelk. Yeah, he does kind of sound like one of the Nelk guys. I didn't realize it while he was talking, but I saw it in my comments. I wonder, like, dude, I'm like curious about the psychology of someone who, like, I don't know, does these. That's nothing to do but do like stupid prank calls.
Let's waste people's time. All right. What's up, bro? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Paps and Alex? This is John. I don't actually have a question tonight. I was just calling to say what's up. Paps, I like being in the Facebook group with you guys and listen to what you have to say. So that's about it. Actually, I did have one question. I was wondering if you guys would ever do like a meetup out there in Las Vegas or somewhere in like New York or whatever like that. Have you guys ever thought about doing something like that?
Cool, bro. Yeah, thank you for your support. But yeah, we actually had plans to do a summit, and then this COVID nonsense happened. But we do plan on doing one when kind of travel opens up. Like we want to do a summit where we can get the top coaches. It's got a big meetup, like just get together with all our fans and like subscribers and just hang out, just provide a lot of value. So we definitely do plan on doing something like that. We just kind of to see what happens with all the travel bans and whatnot.
Yeah, right on.
What city do you live in, by the way? What city do you live in?
What's up?
What city do you live in?
I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Raleigh.
Okay, I live in Atlanta. So if you're coming into Atlanta, make a post in the Mastermind. We can meet up.
Yeah, man. I'll let you up for sure. I'm gonna hang out here for a little while, but once this COVID shit's over,
All right, bro.
Cool, bro. Raleigh's a cool city. My cousin lives there, so I spent some time there.
Thanks for calling in, man. What's up? How's it going?
What's up, IndianPE? What's up, Alex? This is Calvin. This is Callie. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
We're good.
Pretty good. Alex, you make awesome stuff, man. I remember before COVID, I was following you, and then I tried Hinge, and it was doing great, dude. I mean, your stuff definitely works. A little backstory on me: I'm a little older than you guys. I'm 35. I was in and out of relationships, and then I kind of got sick of dating, so I went into the adult industry. I became an adult performer. I'm still doing that, but I kind of been with this pandemic and stuff. I've been trying to get back into relationships, dating, and all of this stuff, but it's gotten much harder. Definitely, like chicks ghost all the time. But now that they're opening up a little more, the restrictions are being less. Do you guys feel like the apps are not working as well as they were pre-pandemic?
They're working quite well for me. I would say when the COVID thing happened for 2-3 months, while I was getting more matches because everyone was inside, it was kind of hard to get meetups and chicks were bouncing out last minute. But now it's been totally fine, like for the past 3-4 months. I actually have a question for you. How did you, as a straight man, get into the adult industry?
That's a good question. I get that question a lot, even from my brother. I met a director. It always starts off with a Craigslist ad. It was an entry-level thing. I sent my pictures. They wanted like full nude, so you send it in, and it was basically a glory hole company. Everything was glory hole scenes. That's what it was.
There's definitely a chick at the end of the glory hole, right? Just to double check this.
What? What was that?
There's definitely a chick at the end of the glory hole, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, glory hole, yeah. So I started doing that, and then I did that. Then they call me back. Every 14 days, you have to get tested. They take your blood and urine, so you're STD free. So you have to get tested, which costs money, but the director reimburses you. So I did that for a good 6 months, and then they invited me back. They would also do sink or swim. So the next shoot after that was actually a gangbang that I had to go to. I did that. It was so, but anyways, you get scenes under your belt. And then from there, they have agencies. Like Florida's really big. If you check out Husky Models, there's a big one in Miami. Just Google Husky Models, SHUSSIE Model. And then you can submit your pictures and stuff. But if you can just search out Craigslist. They always do entry-level scenes, or they're like scenes for OnlyFans. You can get gigs like especially if you're like well endowed, like you know down there it works and you're a good side. It's all about that. But now it's a different ballgame for me. I'm agent. I'm shooting for bigger companies. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Dude, that's pretty awesome. Have you fucked any famous porn stars?
Have I dated porn stars?
Have you fucked any like famous porn stars? Like Leela Starr is my girl. Have you hit that?
I've dated a lot of actually chicks. If you guys want, you guys can check out. Just Google Calvin Hardy X. That's me. Yeah, I've dated. I mean, I've not dated. So, I've had scenes with a lot of popular chicks. Like Emma Hicks was the last one. I've shot for Naughty America, Team Skeet, all those companies.
Okay. I know those guys, dude. I want to actually. I feel like you called in to ask questions, but we're now asking you more questions. I've been lately. What I want to do is I want to get some porn stars on the podcast, and I feel like that would be a really good interview. I've been really getting into No Jumper podcast lately, and I like the way he does the interview. So I want to do something like that. Let's talk offline. Let's connect more because we go down this rabbit hole.
What's on the forum?
Yeah, can you send me an email, or you put your email in the comments, and I'll send you an email, and we'll talk a little bit more.
I will for sure, Alex. I'll send you. What's your email? Because that's one thing I have. I don't have anything.
It's it's playingwithfirechannel@gmail.com. That's the one I use for PWF. So playingwithfirechannel@gmail.com. We'll post it there. Just because I get a lot of emails, just say like, "Hey man, I'm the porn star from the live stream" or something like that. And yeah, we'll talk more. There's a lot of potential here.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, dude. Take it easy. You called in to ask questions. It's just like me asking questions.
Hi, another guy. What's up, man? How's it going? Hello. Hey, man, speak up.
I mean, I'm just trying to bang Leela Starr.
Yeah, these guys. I hung up on that guy. He wasn't talking. Man, that is funny, huh? Like his journey through a glory hole.
I know. I would be so paranoid that there wouldn't be a chick on the other end. Like I'd be like, how do I know? I need to know there's a girl there.
Hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up?
So what's the topic about?
Question.
There is no topic. You're just whatever you need help with, man.
Whatever you need help with.
I need help getting my dick out your mom's stuff.
Oh, that's a good one, dude. That's a good one, man. Really original. All right, let's move on.
Poor guys.
It's so sad. Some of these dudes like literally have no lives.
Poor guys.
I couldn't imagine saying, you know what I'm going to spend my night doing? I'm going to spend my night just prank calling these fucking, maybe when I was like 15 or something like that, but like as a grown ass man, like I'm gonna spend my night prank calling people doing a live stream. That's what I'm gonna do tonight.
Oh my god.
Hide your wife, hide your kids, because I'll be prank calling everybody out here.
Another call. Hey man, how's it going?
Hello?
Hello, speak up.
Oh, hey Alex, hey Nathan, how are you guys doing?
Good man, how are you?
We're good. How are you?
Nice to finally talk to you guys. So I'm Jesse. So I had like 2 questions.
Go for it.
So my first question is, I had like 2 FaceTime calls last week with a couple of girls, but it somehow didn't turn out to close. So I mean, I talked for some time, but I think to figure out I'm not that confident while talking in person versus over text. So in the end, when I tried to close, they just didn't work out in the end. So what are your tips on FaceTime calls and how does that go?
I mean, my tip would be just don't do it. Okay, it could be a number of reasons. Like first thing, like if you do FaceTime, right, it like builds a lot of familiarity, right? It feels like it's too comfortable. Okay, it's like she does not have like an intriguing, like she's not intrigued. Okay, all her excitement, all her mystery, like all of that has like broken. Like just by doing a FaceTime call, she's like, okay, I know this is how this guy is. This guy is very predictable, right? That sort of thing. Okay, so if girls even offer doing a FaceTime call, you can just be like, hey, I'm very busy. How about we meet in the next couple of days because I'm very busy with my business, things like that. Okay, because like FaceTime, it could be a lot of things. It's just like you can't really figure out what you did wrong there. So you're better off just sticking to texting or sticking to girls with who only do texting. Because I suck in FaceTime calls as well. Because like in the end, like the pauses become way more uncomfortable than them building tension. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm personally not a big fan of FaceTimes either. I find it largely a waste of time. Like the only time I will do a FaceTime if the girl's like super paranoid about me being catfish and like nothing else will put her at ease. So I'll just do like 2 minutes. 2 minutes, like literally like happy. I'm as good looking as you thought I was. Like maybe shoot the shit for 30 seconds, make plans, and move on. I don't do like these fucking FaceTime dates or any of that nonsense.
Yeah. Is that good, bro?
I see. So my second question is, so I'm pretty similar with a background to Nathan. So I'm a virgin. So I just joined the group a couple of weeks back. So I'm a bit overwhelmed with all the information. So I went over the book, but I think so. I brought a girl over like a few weeks back, and we just talked for like 7-8 hours. Nothing happened. And though I realized, like, okay, I also need to work on sexual tension and escalation. And this sex game, and there's so many videos, and there's so many articles.
Did you not make a move, or what happened?
Strategy I could have, which part I should focus on, and that sort of stuff.
Okay, so if you spend 7 to 8 hours with a girl without banging,
that's a long ass time.
Basically, like it's coming across as you're too afraid to make a move. Okay. So it's just because you're afraid because you just don't have experience with women, right? When I was a virgin, I remember the first blowjob that I got, like a half-ass blowjob, was 6 months into game. Okay, like it was like she just put my dick in her mouth and then just took it out. That's it. I thought my dick smelled bad or some shit, but still, like, but that's the thing. So you have to not have that fear of escalation. The way you don't have fear of escalation is by starting off with like just verbally showing your intent. You can just be like, oh man, that booty is bigger than I expected. Things like that. Okay, you show intent in those terms. Like you show that you're physically attracted to her, but at the same time you want to talk to her as well. Okay, so the fear, you have more of a fear of escalating. If you feel like, oh well, if I do this, she might run away, shit like that. Do those things. Let her run away. Like failures is when you learn the best. You cannot learn much from, like, I mean, if you get success, beautiful, awesome. But like the more you learn is from failures.
Yeah, I mean, if you were hanging out with a chick for 7-8 hours and you didn't escalate, it's clearly the reason is fear. You were afraid. You know, I'm not trying to say this to be mean. I mean, I've been there myself when I was getting into the game. But, you know, you have to overcome that fear. And I actually kind of disagree with the part about, you know, you want to show intent because with words first, because I think that if you're really nervous to escalate and you do try to show intent, like halfway with your words, it's going to come out creepy. You're going to be like, really hot. Like if you're a guy who has a solid game, then you're going to be able to deliver that the right way. Like, damn girl, where you been hiding this booty, right? But if you're a guy who's like really nervous, you're like, damn girl, where you been hiding that booty? Like you're probably going to fuck it up. So you got to actually, I think, go a step further and just do the shit that makes you really uncomfortable. Like prove to yourself that nothing bad will happen if you make a move, right? And you gotta, you know, like if you're uncomfortable, you gotta do it anyway. Like you can't be having these 7-8 hour dates where you're not making a move. Like, you know, that chick is gonna lose all respect for you, and you know, just think that you're like some like little bitch. You know, again, no offense, but so yeah, you gotta, you know, just do the things that make you uncomfortable, and you know, go for it.
And also, like sometimes, I mean, you could just go, you could just be like, why don't I give you a massage? Just go for it. Just fucking say, why don't I give you a massage? Just lay on the bed and take out your coconut oil. That's it. You fucking do. Just try it out.
This is true. Cool. Let's take like 2 or 3 more questions.
All right, 2 or 3 more questions, guys.
Yeah, make them good ones. Cool. Is the guy still on the line?
Oh no.
Okay.
He dropped. 2 or 3 more questions, boys.
This has been an interesting experience doing this live calling lives. Yeah, I think the big thing we need to do for next time is we need to have like a secretary or something like that. We just gotta get one of our girls to do it.
I think there should be an app. There should be an app like where like all the calls coming in are on hold.
But we want someone to pick up and be like to kind of screen out the trolls.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I'm sure a few will still get through, but like we wanted like someone.
I mean, like, how many trolls would be good? Maybe 5. It's fine.
Yeah, but it would just be better if we had like a steady stream and like this person can connect the calls.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, the guy who fabs to openers.
Can I tell you something? 2 weeks ago, your girl was making a move on me, man.
Dude, someone was saying this in the comments. I actually think it's true. I think they're using a pre-recorded whatever app or whatever from Nelk, like Nelk, because it sounds so much like Nelk. And you know how they weren't answering our questions. So it was just like it wasn't a real person. It was a recording.
Yeah.
It was a recording. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. That's good. That's good recording. Yeah, it's a good recording.
That makes me feel like such a retard because I was trying to like call out a recording.
Whoops.
Let me take a question here while we wait. Yo, Alex, any advice on gaming Russian or Eastern European girls specifically? Thanks. Yeah, one thing I keep in mind is that the culture in Russia and Eastern Europe, it's a little bit more cold. So, you know, you can't expect like these chicks will require more persistence. Like that's just the culture. With Russian girls, Eastern European girls, like they will play coy for a while. Like they want a man who's really persistent. That's just like it's more of a masculine culture in Russia. So, you know, if you're a guy who just gives up easily, like that's not going to fly. You have to be more persistent. You have to be like probably more dominant, and like you can't be like as flamboyant. Versus with like, you know, Asian chicks, like you don't have to be as like hardcore dominant because they get scared easily. You can be more like just like goofy and shit. So we're speaking in giant averages. Of course, there's all kinds of different girls in Russia, but I would say that's a big one. I would probably not go. Russian girls and Eastern European girls are different, but with Russian chicks, they have a strong anti-slut defense, so I probably wouldn't go like super sexual over text or something like that. I just, you know, with those situations, keep it low key. Like let's split a bottle of wine on a romantic balcony, and then just escalate in person.
Do you remember the screenshot I sent you of that big titty Russian chick?
Oh yeah, do I ever?
So I mean, like in person, I was trying to like build tension, like, you know, like whatever, like maybe like just verbally escalating, etc. She was not at all into it. Like I'm like, what's the kinkiest thing you've ever done? And she's like, I think that's very personal to ask, right? And I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm not. I'm just going.
The thing I ever done was eat some borscht without the sour cream.
I just pulled her home, and we were sitting on our bed. And then I'm still asking like these sexual questions because like I want to first see if she's going to respond well to it. She doesn't. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm just going to kiss her. And then as soon as I kiss her, she starts grabbing my dick. I'm like, oh shit, I should have done this like 1 hour before.
Oh yeah, dude. There's like
big titties. Oh my God. Those titties.
With Russian chicks, I've noticed that when I do try to verbally escalate, that they're more like, why are you asking me this stuff?
Yeah.
When you do it physically, they get into it. Yeah, for sure. That's kind of like my date last night. That was an interesting one. This chick was like fucking 80 pounds. She was so tiny. It was like hilarious. 80 pounds. Yeah, it was interesting. I kind of like that because you can just really pick the chick up like with such ease, like, and like usually tiny girls just love it when you pick them up. It's like a funny cycle I've noticed. Let's see if there's okay, we're not getting any calls, so let's just see if there's any good question. I just want to end this off on a good question.
Yeah, I just closed off the thing because I'm not getting calls.
Okay, let's take a look at this. A girl and I have been chatting, but then our recent several texts have been using her cat as an inside joke. Should I shift the convo elsewhere when I ask her on a date? Yeah, probably. I mean, you don't want to get stuck on one track. So I always say this, right? Like a little bit of something is good, but then it's not always that more of that thing is going to be better, right? So a little bit of the cat inside joke, I'm sure it's good, but you don't want to just keep harping on that, right? Because then it just loses its appeal. So then, yeah, you do want to transition it and, kind of, go for the soft close and then get into logistics and go for the meetup. So the answer is yes, sir. Yep. All right, cool, dude. We've gone for a while. Ooh, I like this. Alex, you are the real deal. Great job, man. Respect. Hell yeah. Alex and IndianPE. It's 2020. You got to be inclusive. All right, cool, man. Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. This was definitely an interesting experiment. This is our first time doing something like this. And overall, I kind of enjoyed this. I think we got a lot of value. I think that moving forward, we are going to have some kind of a system so that we can, so there's not this much of a lag. But I think this is an interesting thing. We're not going to do these too often. Maybe like once a month we'll do these call-in lives. I think it's like a nice little spin. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. I loved it, honestly.
Those are some strong words. You love it?
Yeah, I actually do like it. It's like we are able to like listen to their voice. We are able to gauge them as a person rather than like.
It's always interesting when you can hear like someone's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people, like they like always posting in the forums, and you have like this voice in your head for them, and then they sound like totally fucking different than like you expected. Exactly. That's always interesting, dude. Like recently, I met up with like a lot of YouTubers, like guys who I've done collaborations with, and it's like always like when you talk to someone online, you have this like expectation, and when you meet them, you're like, "Yeah, motherfucker, you're way taller than I thought," or like, like you're actually like, yeah, I don't know, like cooler than I thought you were gonna be. So that's always interesting as well. All right, awesome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We have some great guests coming up next week. I'm not going to ruin the surprise because they haven't 100% confirmed yet. But we got a lot of the guests you guys have been requesting in the comments are coming on, so that's great. Maybe you'll see me doing a porno with that, another glory hole porno. I'll link that as well. But we do have an awesome video coming out tomorrow, within a few days, about how to respond to difficult texts and just awesome more content. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram as well at Real Playing Fire. Take our text game quiz if you haven't. We're going to link that in the description. Thank you guys, and have a good night.
See you there.